Budget for that. Oh, Monday.
Let's
say somebody has a case of the Mondays. What is up, everybody? Welcome to DNVR Nuggets podcast.
Let's go.
Live from the studio here. No grunting, no moaning. Monday's energy.
Studio.
Hey, yeah. Have you had the grunter and the moaner in here before? That's a good answer. Zing.
Is the grunter and the moaner in the room with us right now?
There's two of them, and they're staring into the camera.
We got a great show for you because Jokic played basketball over the weekend.
The man is back on the court, looking amazing.
Put up some monster numbers. You watched it. I only got to watch the highlights, so we're going to talk about what we saw there. Also, just some fun stuff for us. The Christmas game is out.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a thought. You know, when I go away for a week, I have thoughts on Jokic.
Yeah, this is typically one of those shows where you just talk for an hour. You haven't been on in 5 days.
It's not going to be one of those. It's not gonna be, I don't have any crazy references or metaphors to use today.
Okay.
But then the back half of the show, the second half, we're going to talk about. I was thinking about this the other day because we keep thinking about who's going to make the biggest leap.
Yeah.
What if the biggest, most improved player on the Nuggets?
Jokic.
He's actually on the list.
Okay.
We will talk about it because it is possible. But what if it was Cam Johnson?
Yeah.
Or Christian Braun? Like, I don't feel like people think of those guys as being the most improved, but they could be. I know the guy that's always most improved, Harrison Wind.
Man, had a great weekend, relaxing. Went to the zoo yesterday.
Denver Zoo?
It's
It's falling off a little, man.
I'm not going to lie. Me and Yair were talking about that
Is that
5
what you
minutes
said?
ago.
Yeah, it's falling off, man.
It was fun because my 1-year-old got to see some elephants up close. That was cool.
Yeah.
But I just had a different image in my mind of the zoo. Maybe that's because the last time I was there was when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
For a field trip or something.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was good for her to go there and see some animals.
I think Denver as a city peaked in 1995.
95.
I think that was
okay.
when it
I was
peaked.
not even living here then.
Well,
Okay.
I was born in 96, so that makes sense.
yeah, all downhill since then. No, because 95, we got Coors Field.
Yes.
We got the Colorado Avalanche.
Yep.
We got Klondike and Snow at the zoo.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
even know Klondike and Snow?
No.
You don't know about Klondike and Snow?
Klondike and snow.
Those were
Like
the
a
polar bear cubs.
Klondike bar?
Yes, the polar
Okay.
bear cubs that we got. Actually, it was, I think, 1996. Big deal.
Right.
Really big deal. It was really like the anchor of the zoo. That was like the thing you came to
I
the
mean,
zoo
a lot of
for.
times the zoo has a big name,
Yeah.
if you will, like a big attraction. So I believe it.
And I don't think there is one now.
No, there's not.
The Malaysian tapir.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see that one?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't think I
It's
saw it.
pretty interesting
I don't
one right
think I
there.
saw it.
Has a good exhibit too. I was in the Pacific Northwest over the last week, man.
Yeah,
you ever been there?
we got a call in from the
that's
show from
right.
you on Friday. That's right. While you were on a boat.
We were out whaling. I'm told whaling is where you kill them. We didn't kill them. We just observed from a safe distance.
So yeah, what'd you do? You're out on a boat.
Bro, I just want to say this part because I went to Olympic National Park
Mm-hmm.
in Forest. My God, that place is unbelievable.
I've never been, but
It's-
now I want to go.
So there's the ocean, there's these tall mountains, and then in between is a rainforest. So you get 3 crazy environments all in one. And then nobody's there for some reason. Olympic National Forest.
In Washington.
You can pull up some photos. You can show. I could have probably just sent you photos that I took. But you know how like people there's great photos and then you take one and it sucks?
Yeah.
That's how the whole trip was. And I'm like, this. And then I'd look at it. I'm like, it's prettier than this. What did I do wrong?
Photos don't do it justice.
Didn't do it justice, but it was pretty awesome. More awesome than all of that, though, Nikola Jokic. Team Serbia played a pair of friendlies over the weekend, one against Cyprus. He didn't play in that one. The one before that, though, was against Greece. Giannis did not participate. Harrison, 20 points,
Yeah.
19 rebounds, 4 assists. Not speculative, as Miroslav
This one
taught us.
actually definitely happened.
This one actually happened.
Although some people were reporting he had 20 rebounds, but then the official box score had him at 19.
We'll just go with 19 because it's funnier. And he did it in 27 minutes You watched the game. What stood out?
Yeah. So this game from Joker, 23 points, 19 rebounds, 4 assists in 27 minutes. He looked like he was playing against middle schoolers out there.
Yeah. He looked enormous.
He was pretty much in Shaq mode in the paint. Like he was just so much bigger and stronger and bullied everybody in this game. And I mean, we can talk about more of how he looked and the shape he's in and like his skill level, but he just dominated off sheer strength.
Yeah.
And I mean, he did hit a beautiful Sombor shuffle for his first points of the game.
Right out of the gate.
On that right baseline, his sweet spot for that shot. Beautiful. And then after that, he just pretty much dominated in the paint.
Yeah.
It was just a masterclass. And it didn't even really look like he had to overextend himself at all.
So Serbia treats him more like Shaq than the Nuggets do. And I think it's just because of the nature of the game and how it works.
Yeah.
But if you even recall this last year, I thought this was the case where they spend a lot of energy trying to get him the ball inside as opposed to on the elbows or top of the key, where the Nuggets, it's easy to get entries there. They play through him there. He spends a lot of time kind of sealing his guys.
Yeah.
And if they get it to him, he scores every time. But if not, it's almost like he's less involved in the offense.
Yeah, you see a lot less of him doing the dribble handoff stuff.
Yeah.
With Serbia. With the Nuggets, I mean, that's pretty much every play is him at the 3-point line or him starting at the elbow or something and initiating a DHO or just some type of pass from there. He's spending so much more time in the paint, usually with the national team.
This is why I think he could play any style. Like we wonder what he would look like if he played with a Luka or played with, some of these other types of guys that are very loud, LeBron in his prime or any of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he would just change because he can also be Shaq.
Right.
He can
and that's
also
why
be a
he'd
straight
fit
scorer.
with any other star too, like we've talked about.
He would just be different in how he operates. But I do know that they play through him in the post. And even when he's out of the game, they kind of use their bigs the same way. Like Milutinov spends a lot of time posting up and sealing. And there's a lot of like staring at him, trying to find an angle to get him the ball, which feels a bit forced when it's not Jokic. But when it is Jokic, you get stat lines like 20 points, 19 rebounds, or 23 points, 19 rebounds.
Yeah. And I mean, look, Greece, not very good. They don't really have any big men with Giannis out. And
Yeah.
it seems like he'd be their only big man. But Jokic just dominated in the paint, man. I mean, he was a man among boys in there. He looked very tan as well. Got a good tan going.
Yeah.
And
But he did look big, though.
He's huge.
He's enormous.
He's got a little belly on him right now. But honestly, it might have helped him in this setting.
This is the thing about Yoke is when he's big, he's like, all right, I
He's
have
just
to,
got stronger
I
somehow.
have to use I'm going to be slow,
Yeah.
but I'm going to have to use this to my advantage, which is kind of hilarious. He definitely did that. But he does look big. And I will say, like, I don't mind it. He moved. He played hard.
He did look like he got tired pretty quickly.
He got tired. And I also thought, man, that one steal he had where he kind of breaks up the lob.
Oh, yeah.
That's the least athletic steal I've ever seen in my life.
But
it
again,
works.
how many players are breaking that up, though?
None. And that's why he's amazing.
Yeah.
But you watch it and you go like, this is going to go for the next month. Basically, the Eurobasket will end a month from now. He needs every part of that to kind of get in preseason shape.
Yeah.
I think he looked to me like really big, I would say.
Yeah, very big.
So, but again, very effective. So we're not going to freak
23 and 19.
And I do love Eurobasket. And one thing I love about it, it's a shorter game.
Right.
And he can play so hard in his minutes because I feel like that's the other part of this.
Yeah, I mean, 23 and 19 in a 40-minute game. I mean, that would be a ridiculous stat line in a 48-minute NBA game. It was in a 40-minute game, and it was only in 27 minutes.
So hold on a second.
23 and 19 in 27 minutes.
So in an NBA game, he would have played another 6-7 minutes. That's one quarter more.
So potentially a 30-30 game.
Probably more of a 30-25 and 6 game. Or
Yeah, that's a decent stat line.
It's pretty good, man.
Yeah. Also, in this game, no one else from Serbia really had it going. Like Bogdanovic didn't have a good shooting game. Jovic, I thought, looked pretty good. Like they're working in some new guys like Tristan Vucevic into the realm of everything. Avramovic had
That's
like a clutch steal.
I think
he had 4 steals in this.
Is
game.
that our favorite guy? Remember we used to love Kalinic. There were
Well,
we've had some
Avramovic is
guys-
just a psycho.
He is a
Like,
psycho.
he's
We
just
loved him
crazy.
last year in the Olympics. We loved
Yeah.
him, but coming out of the gate the way he did, and then you had it on the timeline. I did notice this part. He was clutch, man.
He was clutch. Very clutch.
I
Very
thought
clutch.
Serbia honestly should have won by more. I know it's a friendly.
They did. Yeah, they should have.
They should have won by more. And they kind of, I felt as you watch, again, I could only watch the 12-minute version of this, so you don't get the whole bit of it. But when you see just the flow of the game, it was like, they were always in control, but never pulled away.
Yeah.
And I will say, this is my take on Serbia. I think they're going to be the best team in Eurobasket. Very likely. They have the best player, and all the guys know how to play. They're vulnerable to shooting, though, I feel. And that's why Greece made some shots throughout the entire game that kept them in it. And you go, they're not a great shooting, they're not going to be. But that's the thing I worry about with Serbia is they kind of beat you in this rhythm, but they are vulnerable to hot runs from other teams. And tournaments always have hot runs.
Well, the offense isn't going to be the problem for them. I mean, the questions are about defense with Serbia. They're going to score a ton of points on everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, defense is really where it's probably going to come down to if they win the gold or not.
Was there anybody else that stood out when you were watching the game?
I mean, Bogdanovic looked good. He just missed some shots.
Yeah.
I think Jovic is going to be a beast.
You love Jovic.
I really like Jovic. Yeah.
Which one?
The big one, Nikola Jovic.
Because there's another one, right?
Stefan Jovic, the veteran.
Yeah. I think the other big thing that stands out for me, Jokic, I mean, I have no idea how much basketball he played over the offseason, I really don't. He had the trip to China, obviously he's been doing the horse thing. His touch is still perfect. I mean, he had missed 4 shots, and I think 3 of them were on that one layup that he rebounded.
That he tipped back to himself.
And so I was sitting there going, I think he only missed 1 shot out that didn't result in points.
Well, it's actually funny when you talk about the shots he missed. 3 shots that he missed were free throws. He went 7 of 10 from the line.
Oh, geez. I mean, that's classic.
Yeah,
Jokic.
classic Jokic.
7 of 10. I mean, that's good.
Yeah, it's good, but he did miss a couple.
He also had
8 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, and I bet you they were mostly his misses.
I think they pretty
Although
much
you
all
were
were.
talking about him, a man amongst boys, the funniest play was the one that there's one. We've all seen this from Jokic where somebody grabs the board with him, and he just had one hand in. The other guy's full body grabbing it, holding on for dear life.
Takes it away.
And he somehow gets 2 fingers in there, pulls the ball right out of his hands and lays it up. And you're just like, how the hell did he rip that out of his hands?
It's crazy, man. I mean,
He is so strong.
23 and 19, he could very well have more of these games coming
Yeah.
in Eurobasket just with the lack of other good big men
Yeah.
in the tournament. Valanciunas played for Lithuania too over the weekend.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Almost a double-double.
Yeah,
Or did he get a
11
double-double?
and 6, I think.
11 and 6.
Yeah, that's a good line for a backup center, I'd say.
Did he have the slick back hair? Everybody's posting photos that are old, even the Jokic ones.
The one we posted
Very old.
was not from
Yeah.
this game. This could have been a game, the Lithuania game, where somebody just made up a stat line and people would have gone with it.
Yeah.
Because I could not find any video from it. So he had 11.6 rebounds. He could have also had a different stat line. This was another one where there was a limited box score available.
Is it going to be weird if they play each other in the elimination round?
No.
You don't think it'll be weird?
No. Because Valanciunas, he's a Nugget. He doesn't feel like a Nugget yet, though. He's never played in a Denver jersey.
That's probably fair. Did this get you more excited for Eurobasket? It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah, for sure. Just because Jokic's going to dominate. And I'm excited for this Serbian team to play. They have a squad. They've got a really deep squad. Miroslav put out his projections for the 12-man roster because they got to cut this team down to 12 people. And there's a scenario where a Topic isn't on the team.
That.
Or maybe even they cut another more well-known veteran. So they have a stacked team. And it's another thing where the pressure's on them. They're clearly the best team, I think. There's going to be a lot of pressure on them to win. So I'm excited to see how they, deal with it.
Yeah. Well, Jokic displayed a couple things in that game that you always know that he has them, the touch, the strength. But then when you see him, you realize how freaking dominant he is. But over the weekend, there was this stat that I saw from NBA University, and I've made this point before, but I'm going to make it again, and I'm going to hammer it home. Jokic has 2 skills, meaningful, important skills, that I honestly think he is the greatest ever at. And neither of them are passing, which most people think is his best skill. I want to talk about those on the other side.
Guys, are you a Denver property investor Or do you own an investment property, or you're thinking about buying one? Whether you want to purchase, drop your rate, or take cash out, Cake Mortgage makes it easy. They don't need your tax returns. They don't need your W-2s. There's no complicated paperwork. With Cake Mortgage, all you need is a lease agreement, or they can just use your market rent piece of cake. Get this, even if the property's vacant, even if you just purchased it, they can help. If you're a first-time home buyer, first-time investor, if property's rent doesn't cover the mortgage payment, they can still get the deal done. Cake specializes in loans for investors just like you. So maybe you've been told no by traditional lenders. Maybe you're ready to expand your investment portfolio, unlock equity, or just get a way better deal. They've got you. You can call Cake Mortgage right now. They'll help you take the next step. Call 800-EAT-CAKE, 800-EAT-CAKE to get a bigger slice of the American dream. You can visit cakehome.com, read their 5-star reviews to get started. Cake Mortgage Corp, equal housing lender, NMLS number 1734623, licensed in Colorado by the Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply. Also, shout out to Miller Lite. Miller Lite, they've been doing it for 50 years. It's their 50th anniversary this year. 50 years of Miller Lite. And the reason they've been able to do it for 50 years, there's a few of them. A taste you can depend on. Great beer for any type of occasion. Maybe you're grilling this summer. Perfect beer for that. Trusted by beer lovers for 50 years. Miller Lite is brewed for taste. Simply put, Miller Lite just hits different, especially at the grill. Simpler ingredients, 96 calories, just 3.2 grams of carbs per 12 ounces. Miller Time is always a good time. The original light beer since 1975. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/DNVR to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
All right, back here, segment 2, DNVR Nuggets podcast. We're a little more than 2 months away from the season being back.
Yeah.
A little more than that. But in between then and now, we'll get obviously the preseason, media day preseason, which will be very exciting. We saw the schedule to preseason. By the way, game in San Diego.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of LA homies, San Diego
We do.
homies. We will likely, I don't know yet, but we will likely try to have a get together for that game. So if
Yeah.
you're in the San Diego, let us know on social media, by the way. If you're on, you can let us know in the comments of the show, or you can let us know on Twitter. Just say, yes, I would go. If we did a takeover of the preseason game, a preseason takeover. If we did it, would you want to attend? And maybe we would also do like a dinner before the game. Like
Yeah,
a group,
a little
we're all
meetup or
going,
something.
a little meetup or something. Let us know, because I think that would be super fun.
Yeah.
That's a preseason takeout for the preseason takeover.
That's right. A takeout before the takeover in the preseason.
Also, the schedule comes out this week.
That's what I was going to get to. The schedule. We have the Eurobasket, of course, and then we also have the schedule, which I think comes out tomorrow.
I thought I saw it was like a multi-day event.
I feel like this doesn't make it bigger. It actually
I think
makes
it's
it
getting
worse.
released on Good Morning America.
That's what I was going to say. I
Yeah.
think it's tomorrow morning.
But then I think there's also something Wednesday. And then I saw our guy
God.
Mark Stein say Thursday for the full schedule.
God, we don't know when the schedule drops.
This week.
This week
It's
sometime.
this week.
By the way, how funny is it? You see opening night, Lakers, Warriors. It's like, man, the NBA is really...
Lakers, Warriors, I know.
They're really going to hold on to the last grasp.
And
Like,
then, isn't it Rockets too?
Rockets, Thunder, which
Rockets,
is really,
Thunder.
that one's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Durant going and seeing the banner rose, what will his emotions be like?
That's actually great.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
that's
two
great.
really good teams. So I
Yeah.
think that's a good
It'll
opening
probably
night.
be on Twitter.
So
tonight.
that one's great. Lakers, Warriors.
That
It's
night
like,
too.
whatever, man. I mean, they know how the
Lakers,
It's
Warriors.
just so
Lakers,
funny.
Warriors, hilarious.
It's pretty
I mean, what
hilarious.
would you have done if you were the schedule maker? Thunder.
Oklahoma City,
Thunder-
Houston is perfect. I think they nailed that.
Yeah.
If you look at the next big teams,
I mean, screw the Eastern Conference.
they really have opening night.
Forget about them.
And Christmas. Well, let's get to Christmas Day, because you speculated about this on the show on Friday before this came out, that Nuggets Wolves was something you were hearing. That is the case, and it's the nightcap.
I think you were hearing it, but
Well, you were on the show. Here's the thing. I love this.
Yeah.
I think it is a great nightcap. It might be the best game on the slate. I love that it's the last one, because it means we can have Christmas. Like, that late game, man, everybody's already like almost in bed by the
Everybody's
time you
in
come
food comas by then.
Yeah, so it's like it's not. I don't feel like I'm missing Christmas. I feel like I get a dessert, and it's the best game you could possibly have.
Yeah, for the Nuggets. I mean, it would either be Timberwolves or Thunder.
No, Timberwolves is like better. The Thunder, they're on top. Rockets makes sense.
Yeah,
it's no different.
Yeah,
we don't have anything specific with OKC.
Right. I think Minnesota is the juicier matchup for sure. Part of me was a little, I'm not even going to say worried, but part of me was thinking about, have the Nuggets fallen off the Christmas Day slate?
This is the only reason I wanted them to have a Christmas game.
They're still there.
Yeah,
they're still a tier 1 team.
Tier 1, man. If you fall out of there, it's like, well,
yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, Giannis fell off there, and now it's like, is he going to come back? We don't know.
I mean, now, and you just mentioned this, there's only one Eastern Conference game.
It's not even that good.
What even? I don't even know it.
Knicks. I think it's Cavs Knicks. I think it is.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, exactly.
Nobody's going to watch that.
That's when you open gifts.
Yeah,
it's
that's
in the background.
That's the 11 a.m. game.
Four West Coast teams.
But yeah,
games.
I mean, the Nuggets haven't lost in this second round the last couple of years. Like, had they fallen off that pedestal? Right. No, they're still there. They're definitely in the mix. I mean, just looking at the teams they picked. So,
and this is a true rivalry, man.
Yeah,
Nuggets,
it is.
Wolves.
It definitely is. Yeah, for sure.
And let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush. They own Denver right now.
Yes.
So that game is
except
won.
in the preseason.
That game to me, I look at and I say Denver has to take some pride in that. I don't think Jokic. I actually had this theory that Jokic almost like purposely treats the Christmas Day game like another, almost like he's being demonstrative that it's not his Christmas, therefore it's another night. But this is a game where it's like, yeah, but you know what Minnesota means.
Yeah.
They don't fear you.
And let's be honest about this as well. I mean, Anthony Edwards juiced the rivalry a little bit at Summer League too.
Oh, did he ever?
So, I mean,
he is not respect the Nuggets.
We're so back in. I hate Minnesota. I hate that team. I hate Anthony Edwards. I want to beat them by 30.
Yeah.
Hopefully that is the first time we play them next season.
It is true. Like if they play another time, it'll take a little bit of the wind out of the sail. But if they play only then
hopefully
you have
that's
three
the first
more
meeting.
times later.
Yeah,
we'll have to see. But I agree with you. I hope so too. So there's a build to that.
Right.
And I also would love for those two teams to be doing well. I want to talk about two Jokic skills real quick. Do you have the graphic I submitted to you earlier today? NBA University posted this one. Olympic National Park. Look at it. Oh, some beautiful little,
That looks great. That's a great
little
waterfall.
waterfalls. You take these little hikes.
Nice.
We did. Let's see what else you got. I don't recognize that.
That's probably AI.
I don't really recognize any. Oh, there you go. That Hall of Mosses. All right. Look at that mossy rainforest. It's so cool. All right. This was posted where we look at leaders in career paint, non-restricted area field goal attempts. When we talk about points in the paint, most points are at the rim. Mm-hmm. Like right at the rim, dunks, layups. Right outside the restricted area is jump hooks, floaters, touch shots. And we all know Jokic is phenomenal, but when you see it in visual representation, to the right means volume, to the top means efficiency. Jokic is in his own planet on this. And I think that it is not, I mean, anything can be argued. You can argue what shade of blue the sky is, right? Like nobody can agree on anything. But I think it is pretty inarguable that Jokic has the greatest touch from this spot, that he is the greatest floater zone scorer in terms of volume and efficiency by far that the game has ever seen.
Yeah, this is a wild graph, especially because this is all-time players too. I mean, look how far ahead he is of, I don't know, Tim Duncan.
Yeah,
in terms of
twice as
efficiency.
Yeah,
or how far ahead he is of Pau Gasol or Shaq, who didn't take like a step outside the paint. Yeah, it's absolutely wild when you put it in a graph like this. It really makes you think differently about it.
The gap in efficiency between Russell Westbrook and Tim Duncan is the same between Tim Duncan and Jokic. Like, it's insane how effective he is. So I think, and this is a huge skill, because that zone, I'm telling you, I never thought about this. There's a million reasons I wish I would have grown up with Jokic instead of after I was done being a competitive basketball player. Because one thing I realize is nobody works on 7 foot like shots
anymore. Yeah. or
Well, I
really,
don't
really ever.
Really
Yeah.
ever. You work on like post
It's kind of
moves.
always that awkward zone, in between the post and a jump shot.
You're getting up 15 footers. You're not getting up 7 footers. And it's like, yeah, but if you could master that,
Yeah.
you could actually get a lot. 7 footers are like, those are shots you can actually get a lot of because teams will concede them. And Jokic has mastered it in a way that is such a weapon. So he's number one there. I think he is number one. This one to me is not that close. I think if you argue it, you're probably arguing aesthetics or something, but statistically, Jokic just dominates this like nobody else has.
Jokic dominates, and Jonas Valanciunas
He's there too.
Has the second most efficient, non-restricted shooter.
Underrated aspect when Adelman said, "Oh, he reminds me of Jokic a lot."
Yeah.
This is another.
Maybe this is it.
Nobody mentions this, but it is part of it. Get him on that little short roll and have him shoot the little hook. Oh, of course. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
of course.
well, yeah.
Barely find him down there in the bottom. So I think this one is like almost inarguable that he is the GOAT of this skill. I think he also has the greatest hands for rebounds and loose balls of any and passes of any player ever. And there have been some guys with really special hands.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody has the hand. Jokic really is with the space octopus. He really does grab these extra plays in a way and it's a valuable skill because it leads to rebounds that he shouldn't have got. It leads to, Russell Westbrook can throw a 90-mile-per-hour pass 3 feet away and he'll just grab it. I think Jokic has the greatest hands of any player to ever play the game.
Yeah, it'd be hard to argue. I mean, you see it with his rebounding, how he's just able to grab onto a basketball with one fingertip and just bring it in.
Yeah.
Like he does that at a level I've never seen anybody. Obviously just his hands, like you said, catching passes, his feel for the ball. It's insane, man. It's absolutely unreal.
I think that this is skill. They say of Moses Malone, by the way, that he was one of these guys. There's not a lot of tape on him, but that's part of why he was such a good rebounder is he could catch ricochets that were kind of coming fast or whatever.
It's like, when you're playing beer pong and the ball bounces off the table at like some crazy angle and you just make a ridiculous grab.
That's me, man. I'm telling you, that's why beer dice was my game. This is my best skill.
I was going to say that's Jokic, but also
but it's also me.
Yeah.
Beer dice, that's what it all is you have to catch. It's a dice, so it bounces weird, and you have to just have great hands.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I think those two skills. Passing, I don't think you're never going to get, is he the unanimous GOAT? And I don't know if he is. There's been great passers over the year. I mean, Magic Johnson's an incredible passer, man. Jason Kidd's been an incredible passer. Chris Paul, like there's been guys that you can make cases for. Luka Doncic is an incredible passer. He even does more fancy passes than Jokic does, partly just his personality. I just don't think you could say, like if I said Jokic is a better passer than Magic Johnson, there's a lot of people that would say no, he's not.
Yeah, for sure. He might never have that crown. I think you're probably
It's just more controversial. Now he's in the conversation, and he very well might be the GOAT passer when it's all said and done. That one's not as unanimous. Whereas if I say he has the greatest touch outside the restricted area, it's like, hey man, the stats show it. And also, who would disagree with that?
And you can't really put a stat on greatest passer.
Right.
You can't put one on greatest hands either.
Yeah. But I do think if you said who has better hands than him, people would have to really think about it.
Yeah.
But when you watch
don't
Jokic
think about
play,
that question that often.
you would have to
Greatest
really
hands.
think about it. But with Jokic, you don't have to think about it. You would be like, yeah, he clearly, I don't know if there's anybody better hands than him. So it's crazy to think that he has two skills that he might be the single GOAT of, and they're not even thought of as his main skill, which would be passing.
Right.
or just touch on his jumper or anything like that.
Or
man.
just, offense.
The guy is absolutely ridiculous. And just getting to watch him play over the weekend was enough for me, man. Like seeing the highlights, I was just like, man, I'm so glad we get this offseason. The Nuggets better win it next year because I can't go 4 or 5 months with no Jokic.
Yeah. And we were talking about this last week. I think it was me and Eric, but I'm so settled on the take that him playing for the national team is good for the Nuggets.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's good for him. It's good for his mental. It puts him in a great space. I don't know if you saw, there was this other video of him on the bus, the Serbian team bus. They were singing some song about Coach Pesic. Like the
Car is on fire.
Car's on fire, yeah.
Your defense is terrified.
I mean, he was so happy, man.
Yeah.
Like he's in such a good space. So I think A, it's gonna put him in good shape for the season. But B, I just think mentally he's going to be at a really good place, especially if they win, which they've got a great shot to. So I just think it's lined up for him to really start off the season great.
Well, they have another game this weekend against Germany, a friendly, which should be televised. And then the post-game show will be Serbian Corner with Miroslav. He'll be live right afterwards.
Second week in a row. He's got a post-game show.
So you guys will want to tune in for that, man, because it'll be very interesting. Let's take a break. On the other side, here's the question. What if Cam Johnson is actually the most improved player on the Nuggets this next season?
Check out Volo, Denver's most popular provider of adult social sports leagues, pickup games, and events. Sports offered include soccer, volleyball, pickleball, kickball, basketball, cornhole, and many more. Playing Volo is awesome. I've played in some leagues. They play kickball right over here at City Park, then come over to the bar to hang out and drink. It's an awesome time. Soccer, volleyball, pickleball as well. Cornhole leagues with Volo. Stay or get more active in a fun way. You can mix up your after-work routine. Lodo, Rhino, Highlands, City Park, Cherry Creek, South Broadway, and more. You can sign up as a free agent, small group, or full team. All ability levels and backgrounds are welcome. You can use the code DNVR10 for $10 off any Volo Denver league. Volo's awesome. Again, leagues in every sport throughout the city. Lodo, Rhino, Highlands, City Park, Cherry Creek, South Broadway, and more. Use the code DNVR10 if you want to play. DNVR10, $10 off any Volo Denver league. Also, shout out to Toyota.
Oh, shout out
the official
Toyota.
vehicle of DNVR. We love Toyota, man. Trucks, cars, SUVs, the Tacoma, the Land Cruiser. They've got the 4Runner and 17 models of available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive like the Epic 4Runner. More low and zero emission vehicles combined than any other automaker. 16 hybrids to choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max Hybrid truck. They got the RAV4, the Grand Highlander. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mount States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson, Toyota East Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota's a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go, places.
Let's go places. All right, back here, segment 3. I was thinking about this one too as I was driving through Olympic National Park.
In your Toyota?
Yeah, in my Toyota.
Yeah,
it was incredible. I will say one thing about that park. It's enormous, very spread out. So it's like you go to a place, you spend a couple hours, you hike around, and then it's like 2-hour drive to the next place.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, but I love to drive.
If you like driving,
I like a drive, man.
Yeah.
Especially
and then,
when,
you know, you're hiking so you can rest.
Dude,
Rest
they had
while
these
driving.
huge cedar trees. They had these huge spruce
Nice.
trees, the Sitka spruce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
love a good Sitka.
It would take like probably 15 of me to like hug it,
Oh,
like
yeah,
wrapped
yeah,
around.
for sure.
It was so gorgeous, man. I'm telling you. And
That's
then,
awesome.
you know what happens is because it's a rainforest and there's all these rivers going through it, the trees will fall into the river. It'll wash out into the ocean, and then the ocean is full of these giant trees, and then they wash up on shore. It's really pretty. But it's like the
does
most
sound really
dangerous
pretty.
ocean on earth because
Oh,
it
yeah.
has
You
these-
don't want to go in that.
these, like 12-foot.
Like, watch
diameter.
out.
Yeah.
You're body surfing and you're like, there's a 100-foot tree right there.
Oh man, and that's crazy, man.
That's
It's
wild.
the power of Earth. You know, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Love Earth.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Back to Nuggets though. So, what if? I want to do this for a handful of players, but I want to spend a lot of time on this first one. What if Cam Johnson is actually the most improved player? We have this title card here. Let's pull it up here. We have him for everybody. Cam Johnson. Now, here's the thing. Look at his numbers last year. 18.8 points per game. Very, very good year. But if you go deeper into the numbers, this was actually a very different season for him than anyone prior. A completely new shot profile for him. For starters, only 90.6% of his threes were assisted last year.
That's crazy.
Typically in his career, it's been more like 95. Last year, only 90. And then on 2%ers, only 55.6. Typical for him, that number was higher, somewhere around 65. So about 10 percentage points lower. And then if we go even a little deeper, as a pick and roll ball handler, 2.5 pick and roll possessions per game last year. It was 0.4 in Phoenix, 2.4, and then 1.4 the year before. So even from just 2 seasons ago to last year, he upped his pick and roll ball handling duties a lot. Same numbers for handoffs, 2.5 last year, 1.5 before, 0.5 career average. So Wind, he might be most improved because last year was the first year he ever played like a top 3 option He was basically number 1 or number 2 last year as a top option. So now he takes that skill set, but adds it alongside Jokic, who we know makes it easier for everyone.
Yeah.
I think there's a sneaky chance that we look at Cam Johnson this year and go, that's actually, he's having a year where his jump year over year is actually higher than anyone else's.
Yeah, this is my read on Cam Johnson. I think, those skills and having that profile to his offense, probably a very good thing for him as a player, just to play that style, get his own shot more, just experiment that way. But I have a feeling that's not exactly what he wants to do as a player.
Yeah.
He's cool with doing it, and I think he knows the best version of himself is to have a slightly different shot profile.
I think you're right, but will it go all the way down? Here's the thing. It was way low, 0.5 pick and roll possessions a game in Phoenix and 2.4 before, but he's actually pretty good at it. So does that just go down to like 1.5 or even 2, but he actually is really good at it?
Yeah, I think it does go down a little bit, but he still does some of it, because I also think, just based on, the podcast he does, he hosts a podcast, so you hear his thoughts a lot, and he's talked about coming to Denver a lot, and he's talked about the differences from what he did in Brooklyn to what he'll probably do next year in Denver.
Yeah.
I think he knows that stuff's going to be dialed back a little bit. But like I said, I think it's valuable that he did it, because it's going to just make him a better overall player. So I think all those things are going to combine into just him having the perfect like give and take in terms of, all right, I can do this stuff on my own. I can, get my own shot. But now I'm playing next to like the greatest offensive hub that we've ever seen. I know exactly how I need to play to maximize what we're doing with the Nuggets.
I think his catch and shoot, he'll get better open looks off ball this year.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
fewer, just because the ball has more places to go, now. So maybe fewer, but better looks. So I hope that the percentage on those is higher. I think that he has a newly, like over the last 2 years, unlocked a skill set that is ball in the hand skill set. Isolations were up even for him, but pick and roll and handoff in particular, he ran more reps this last year than ever before. And now he's going to get to do that with a great player. So I think there's reason to think that he might actually up his efficiency in a major way. In 18.8 points, I actually don't know if that number does go down. It might, but there's a chance it doesn't at all, because he's now getting easier chances and his brain is already wired to be more aggressive. So I think those things are all possible, but it is also possible that he gets here and it's like, damn, this guy's actually a really good pick and roll player. Mm-hmm. He's a mini Paul George now. Like we think of him more as a catch and shoot, get to the corner, but he has developed a little bit more of a Paul George-esque skill set, which is actually give him the ball and let's run pick and roll for him.
Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, because we don't think of him that way at all. We think of him, and I think of him maybe partly because I just haven't watched the Nets a lot over the last couple of years, as just the catch and shoot guy,
right?
Who can do a little bit other stuff, but that's not what usually comes to mind about Cam Johnson. I like to think of him coming to Denver in a similar way to where an Aaron Gordon came to Denver, from the fact of basketball will never be easier for Cam Johnson than it will be with the Nuggets.
Right.
Like it will be so easy for him to fit into this system. And if he buys in, he's going to get the most open looks of his career. He's going to get the easiest shots of his career. He's going to have the highest efficiency of his career. Aaron Gordon bought in, and that's exactly what's happened.
Right.
He's gotten, the easiest shots, and we've seen over the course of his years in Denver how he's been the perfect fit and totally just reshaped the narrative around him as an offensive player. I think Cam can do that as well. He'll be the knockdown catch and shoot guy, but if he buys in, and I think he will because he's such a smart guy, you're going to see just the other parts of his game as well.
So I think there's a real possibility. And if that's the case, what would it mean if he was the most improved player? To me, I think it would be incredible, because that would, like, we're just putting him as this like Michael Porter replacement, as more or less the same piece. But if he is actually a most improved candidate, like the most improved Nuggets player, next year at the end of the year, we go, who was better than expected year over year than anyone else? And it was Cam Johnson. I actually think that elevates Denver to a territory they have not been. Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter, you kind of have gone back and forth. I think Aaron Gordon was the third best player. But if he is improved in the way that I'm talking about, where this skill set actually, unlocks, I don't think we're talking about this as like Aaron Gordon has his own value to the team, and so it's always going to be a little weird. But I think we'd be talking about this as a guy that you actually can run your offense through consistently. Not like Michael Porter was never, next 5 minutes, this is Porter and Jokic 2-man game. We never felt that way.
Right.
But we feel that way with Cam Johnson, not just sometimes, but all the time, where it's like, oh, Murray's getting a breather, Cam, take the wheel.
Mm-hmm. And that would be a totally different dynamic from what this team has been the last several years, and that would be such an absolute bonus. Because you're right. We do just think of him as the straight up Michael Porter replacement. And he's going to do everything Porter did on the offensive end. Everything, I think. Maybe other than a little less offensive rebounding. But other guys can pick up the slack there. I do think, like you said, it's underrated the other skills he brings and how much different from Porter he is with those.
Yeah. The other guy that nobody talks about is Christian Braun, because he's already made his improvement this last year. It was such a shock seeing where he went. Oh, by the way, Cam Johnson, one last note on him. The advanced numbers for him, box plus minus, career about 1.6. He was 3.1 last year, box plus minus. That's a career high by a wide margin. So I know the advanced stats don't catch everything, but it does show a player who is improving. Christian Braun is very similar in that way.
What was his box plus minus?
Christian Braun, rookie season, minus 2.4. Sophomore season, minus 1.9. Last year, 0.3.
Okay.
Now, some of this stuff is wonky. Who you play with, he's getting fed better buckets and different things. So don't read into it too much. But it is a guy who's growing by a considerable amount every single year. So what would it mean if he was the most improved Nugget? Again.
Yeah. See, I'm not sure how many more stats he can put up offensively.
You bet we said that last year. We all agreed he was going to average 10 points a game last year.
And what did he average?
15. It was a very big shot.
15 points a game last year.
He averaged 15.4 points per game.
Yeah.
We all agreed it was going to be 10.
Yeah.
And we were like, if he has a crazy year, it'll be 11 or 12.
Because he had way more games than we thought where it was just, oh, he shot 7 of 10 this game.
Yep.
Oh, he was 8 of 11 this game.
Yep.
And we definitely undersold. I definitely undersold just how many easy buckets he was going to get in transition with Yoke just throwing him that Hail Mary assist, just how many points he was going to get just easily that way with
how
open
many games
layups
would
and
you
dunks.
guess? How many games last year do you think he shot 50% or better? He played in 79 games to give you a total. 50% or better in how many games?
I'll say 50.
62.
Wow.
Of 79 games, he shot at least 50%.
So, I mean, can he average, 18 points a game? Could he?
So here's the thing. The points per
If
game.
his 3-point percentage goes up by just the same increment, it's kind of gone up or close to it.
Obviously him becoming a more consistent 3-point shooter, as well as he shot last year, he did not shoot well in the playoffs. And, you're going to always wonder about that.
He shot 40% from 3. He doesn't feel like a 40% shooter, though.
To me, it's not about the shot, though. To me, what added to his game was his passing is actually more dynamic. I think Christian plays it safe. And maybe some of this was Michael Malone. Maybe some of this is just he's smart. He's young. He knows. Don't go out there and try to do too much. Just be good at what you're good at. I think as the year went on last year, he opened his game up a little bit more. And the biggest thing to me is, what if he is better off the dribble, better in pick and roll, better in dribble handoffs? This offense really does get to be more continuity. Jokic Murray 2-man game is the fulcrum, but still, like anybody else get the ball, run pick and roll. I would not be surprised if that's where he makes the bigger leap. If we didn't feel like we did with Torrey Craig, where every time Yoke goes over to do a handoff with him, we're like, oh God, what's going to happen here? It was more like, yes, this is an opportunity.
Yeah. And I think that could happen because there's going to be more spacing.
Correct.
Their paint's going to be way more open. You've got Cam Johnson. You've got Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
You've got some actual shooters you can throw out there.
Christian will almost always have the worst defender on him. Think about it.
That's another great point.
Murray, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon. Like the worst defender is going to be on CB.
Right.
Some nights it's going to be Trae Young.
Right. So if he gets that ball coming off a dribble handoff, last year the paint was so clogged that automatically means like, maybe I don't want to go in there. Now it's going to be wide open. If he has a smaller guy on him, he can just run him over and get to the rim.
Yeah.
And get to, the restricted area where he was great finishing last year.
I think if he is the most improved player, that's where it is that he's a guy that we're just like, he's still getting all the cuts, the fast breaks, the finishes at the rim. He's making his spot up threes, at a decent rate because he's not taking that many and he's usually wide open. All those things. And then you just add in that he's better in the pick and roll to where he has a full green light and he uses it wisely. He's not going out of his way. But it's like, if you catch the ball, go, attack. Use Jokic, get the handoff, pass it back to him. That would be incredible, and I think it's actually somewhat realistic. Do we have a break three?
We don't. Something I was going to bring up, though, was that an underrated part about CB, looking back at his stats from last year, I would have said this number was way lower than it is, just kind of, if I had to guess. Shot 83% from the line.
That's big time.
That's up from 70% last year.
That shows he put in work.
And then 62% his rookie season. If you just look year to year, his percentages are rising in such steady amounts that, it's tough for a guy like him to shoot better than 83% per year or for the year just because you're not getting a ton of attempts. But if he's going to the rim more, if he's drawing more fouls, if he is attacking more, like you were saying, out of DHOs just off the bounce, I love that because he's a good free throw shooter now. He's got the confidence to get to the line and hit and knock those down now.
Even just getting to the line, because I do think his free throw attempt per 36 numbers are somewhat flat. So it's not like something he has. Yeah, it is. It's not something he's added to his game. But again, he's playing conservatively. Maybe this is the year he's trying to catch more bodies. He's going to the rim more, trying to get posters.
Yep.
And that's something that adds to him. So I actually think with both Cam Johnson and Christian Braun, it's not crazy to think they could be most improved. But there are some other guys that are going to be in the mix here. Personally, I think the next most likely person, and it might be the most likely overall, is Peyton Watson. And part of this is because he has the most year-over-year upside. He's the player that I think, you could say him and Julian, but I think him personally. He has the most, we haven't seen the potential that's there as much because he hasn't played as many minutes. It haven't been the same kind of minutes. This is a year where if he is the most improved player, it would be my pick of who would be, because I think it would be the biggest impact. Most improved would mean that he is a absolute steady 6th or 7th man on this team where you're like, yes, he's one of the top 7 guys.
Yeah. Vogt and I last week were going through some of the Jokic games from last season that you might have forgotten about. We left out like the 30, 20, 20, some of the 60-point game, but some of the ones you might have forgotten about. And in a lot of them, Aaron Gordon did not play and Peyton Watson started.
I'm telling you, man.
And it was just a reminder looking at some of those box scores. Wow, Peyton Watson had some awesome games last year.
This is my whole take with it. This is why it drives me nuts when people are out on him. I'm like, does nobody see that if you play with Jokic, you look good? And if you don't, you look bad?
Right.
And he's one of the guys that never gets to or rarely gets to.
Yeah. 24 points, 18, 5 and 18 points, 16 points, 16, 5 and 5. He had some big games last year. A lot of them came in the starting lineup. But the flashes were there, and it wasn't as consistent as you want or as the Nuggets necessarily needed. But just looking at the depth, he's going to be playing with better lineups. And my takeaway from that exercise that me and Vogt did was just maybe if he just plays with better lineups, not even necessarily with Jokic, just with better overall lineups that's not Jamal Murray and 4 bench guys, he's just going to have better numbers and better games.
For me, Peyton Watson is the one, with Christian Braun becoming better pick and roll player and whatever. Maybe that happens. That takes work. Cam Johnson, I don't know if there's more there. Is his role change? Peyton Watson to me is the most obvious. He needs to get stronger. This summer, he needs to add strength to his body so that he can, he needs to finish at the rim better. He needs to shoot better. Those 3 things, and I'm like, he's already going to be the most improved player if those 3 things happen, and they're all things that you should expect. Now, I have no idea what kind of work he really puts in. I know he's been working with the Darrell Wright, as we've said. He's been here in Denver. He's doing, in my opinion, all the right things. The other thing about him I always bring up is I think this was true of Christian Braun too, and maybe he handled it better. But Peyton Watson always had to look over his shoulder. You come into the game and you take a shot and miss, you're now on watch. You come in and shake another one and miss, it's like, get him out. He's cold. He's costing us on offense. I hope that goes away this year, that he doesn't feel that pressure of, does this coach actually trust me at all? Or do I have to am I nervous every time I shoot it that if I miss this one, I'm coming out the game?
Yeah. And another factor in all of this is there's kind of a lack of defense at his spot in the depth chart.
Not kinda.
There's not. It's the underrated storyline when we talk about how awesome this offseason was. I don't know how much better they got defensively.
Yeah.
And just from a regular season standpoint, they definitely have to be better defensively next year. They were fine in the playoffs. But Peyton, they just need him to be there and be playable and be steady on offense because they need his defense.
Yeah.
They really do.
Julian Strawther is another guy who very well, I think now we're getting into Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther you're counting on here. I think number one, the game slows down for him last year. He played a lot of minutes, but it does seem like maybe he was very aggressive, but maybe this is the year where everything just slows down. Here's one thing I'll bring up. Peyton Watson last year had a box plus minus of minus 1.8. That's pretty rough. Christian Braun's was minus 4.5. Significantly worse.
When?
Last year. Minus 4.
Christian Braun had
I'm sorry, Julian Strawther. Julian Strawther.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, Julian Strawther.
Yeah.
Meaning, I know a lot of people are like, I think Julian's going to have a great year, and P-Watt I've lost hope on. P-Watt was significantly better, at least in the advanced metrics, than him. And then who would you think had a better three-point percentage last year?
I mean, I know it was P-Watt, but that's crazy to think.
But Julian, to me, can show a lot of improvement this year. I think it's harder for him to get on the court. We'll have to see. But him being most improved is extremely on the table. And if it is the case, I wonder what it means for Denver because they have guys in that spot. Does it just mean, is it almost not a value add because you already have Tim Hardaway Jr., so it just takes him out of the equation?
I think it's going to be tough for Strawther. The more I've thought about it, he played 21 minutes per game last year. There's no way he gets close to that this year, I think. He is in for a big drop in minutes, I feel like. You're adding Bruce Brown and Tim Hardaway to kind of his position. I mean, he's got those guys to compete with, whereas last year he had an absolute runway to minutes on opening night of the regular season. That's how they made the roster. So I think it's going to be tough sledding. He did show some big improvements in a couple areas last year. Like his 3-point percentage took a big jump, needs to take a big jump again next season. His field goal percentage took a big jump, needs to take another big jump. So, and look, I believe in Julian as a player. I believe in his natural skill set and his feel, and he's got the tools offensively. I'm just definitely way lower on him than Peyton per se.
Yeah.
And a huge reason why is I just don't see him having nearly close to the amount of opportunities he had last year.
The one thing I think he can do that would get him on the court more and differentiate himself is if he became a better pick and roll ball handler. And I actually could see this happening with him. He handles the ball pretty well, better than you would think. He does some stuff off the dribble. And if this summer was all about him being like, okay, if they give me the ball to be the initiator in pick and roll, what do I do with it? I could see that becoming of value to him. I just don't know if I'm not betting on that.
Yeah, we saw a little of it last year. Not enough, though, to really make you totally confident that he's going to be that guy this season. But you're right. Like, if he could develop some point guard skills and some more ball handling, that's where he could fit into the rotation.
Real quick hitters here at the end. Zeke Naji being most improved. It's on the table. It's
We're
the
not,
funniest
we're not
one.
doing this.
We're not doing it?
No, we can't.
I actually think this one has a real chance of being true.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do too.
No, you
yes,
don't.
I do too.
No, you don't.
Why not?
You do not.
Why not?
I mean, we've done this the last 3 years.
I'm telling you, for Zeke, Pickett, Peyton, those guys, I think, had an uphill battle that is hopefully gone from them. Again, I'm not picking it, but I would not be surprised. The recipe is he plays more with Jokic than ever before.
So they're going to play 10 guys?
I mean, that's the other thing is they'd have to play 10 guys, or it's just that any injury, he's the first guy in, which might be the case.
Well, there you're right. Yeah, there you're right.
So it's possible Zeke, I look 555 really woke up.
Okay,
by the way, I like your take 555. Here's what I was thinking for his take, by the way, last week, that his countdown this year should be if there's 5 5s in the stat sheet, which I like, but then culminate, because you always have to have something you're hunting for.
Right.
And it should be an actual 5x5.
Oh, if somebody gets a 5x5
Because who could get a 5x5 for the Nuggets? Jokic?
Jokic.
Maybe Peyton Watson, although he
P.O.
doesn't really get steals like that, but maybe.
Yeah, he had a 5 assist game last year, P-Watt.
Yes, he did. Maybe Christian Braun, maybe Aaron
CB,
Gordon.
yeah, AG.
But you're really talking about Jokic.
right.
And maybe one other guy. And it would be fun all year because you'll definitely get close. And then you could have because his name is 5555-ish. So it's not always a 5x5. It was almost a 5x5.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it.
I think it's a good one. I think you thought of a good one.
But to go back to Zeke for 1
He's not
second,
getting one.
Probably not. If there's an injury to say Aaron Gordon, he's probably the starter who might miss the most time. That's probably Peyton Watson who's stepping into the starting lineup. And so then, you're backing him up. That's when Zeke can get into the rotation.
Maybe.
And I mean, who knows even how many minutes he'd get with Yoke there. I mean, he's really only gotten consistent minutes with Yoke when he's been starting.
Yeah.
I still think Zeke can be a player. Absolutely. I don't think it's going to happen here. I can't get excited about it.
5555-ish is will fouls count. I think for the 5555-ish, any 5 counts. So 5 made baskets, 5 made threes, 5 made fouls.
This is okay
because that's like a 5x5-ish.
This is going to be way harder for our guy to keep track of all season.
No way.
This is a lot of work from our guy.
This is easy. You like no, I don't know if I like that one. I don't think turnovers should count, or missed shots or taken shots.
Again, a lot of work for our guy.
You just have to look at the box score and say, are there 5 5s here? No. Okay, we go on to the next game. Jalen Pickett, I just don't think is going to play enough. If he did play, though, is there a chance that I just think he's good. So I think he can play. I just don't think he'll play enough. But it would be pretty cool if that was at the end of the year. You're like, who we didn't count on all year, who now we just pencil in as part of one of the guys? Jalen Pickett.
I think Jalen Pickett's going to play more than you think. At backup point guard.
He can get the ball to Big Val. It's one of his good skills.
Yeah. And look, I mean, a Jamal Murray stagger is probably the most likely route they go with the bench.
Yeah.
But I think there will be some times when it's not Jamal Murray and maybe it's Bruce Brown and Pickett.
Ooh, like back to back. We're not going with the stagger. Just Pickett, you're in for 5 minutes. Go out and do something.
I just think he'll play. He'll play.
Yeah.
He won't be in the regular rotation per se, but I think he'll play.
2 more quick hitters that we have to do.
Okay.
What if it's Jamal Murray? What if he's the actual most improved player for the Nuggets next year? We all know
if that's the case, I mean,
they win the title.
Yeah, ring me.
They win the title. If he's the most improved player, that means the Nuggets have Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah. I mean, what would be most improved about Jamal Murray's game if you're giving him that title?
Consistency and probably reading the court and just athleticism.
Like so right it wouldn't necessarily be anything in the stats. Because I think you're right about that.
Well, I do think that the stats would reflect more points,
And maybe slightly higher percentages.
Just probably a little bit up on everything. But yeah. It's like, no, right now, I don't think defenses, like Anthony Edwards is not scared of him. He actually openly mocks him. It would be a thing where it's like, no, you come into town. It's like, you better get some rest. Jamal Murray's coming to town. I just don't think that people think that way right now.
Brightest timeline, it would be Murray.
Murray has a year. He's an all-star, and it's like the Nuggets are winning.
Jokic, but
honestly, well,
maybe it'd be Murray.
Well, this is our last one. What if it is for the 10th year in a row?
Yeah,
Nikola Jokic is the most improved player.
He's pissed that he's the what?
Just like, dang it, it's me.
Fine, I'll do it again.
Well, here's the thing about Big Yoke that we saw from over the weekend. Maybe this team is more Shaq Yoke, less Fulcrum Yoke, because there's more guys that can make things, and Jokic is just like 15 rebounds a game. Could Jokic be like a 28 and 15, but like 6 assists? Because he's not 5 assists or something.
28, 15, and 5.
Because he's like not passing as much, but instead he's just grabbing. Think about how he doesn't even focus on rebounding. He grabs 12.
Yeah. Like we've known about big game rebounder Jokic in the past. Now the big game Jokic rebounding is 20. Just pencilman for 20. I think it maybe happens. I don't think that'd be good though. Like,
I don't think it would either.
I think
we're trying to reduce his role.
Get your fat ass in the paint, man.
Throwing more and more at Yoke.
I think it'd be best, honestly, for him to have the same season he did when they won the championship. Even
I agree.
Dialed back from where he was just as a points per game guy last year.
Let us know in the comments below, who do you think is going to be the most improved player, and who would you like to see be the most improved player? Those 2 different questions. Maybe they have the same answer. We have 1 super chat, but we have to go to overtime. We'll answer it on overtime.
Overtime.
Shout out to Yaya on the 1s and 2s. Great job filling in for Kale here. What do we got?
I don't NOPNN. Westbrook had his highest effective field goal percentage of his career with us in his 17th season. LOL.
I mean, Cam Johnson's gonna.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that's the point.
That a lot of times that happens when you come to Denver.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Westbrook.
Yeah.
I'm sure Bruce Brown did as well.
Yeah. This doesn't look like a super chat.
Quick question.
What? Hold on. What is it?
It's a question. I just thought it was a good one for you guys.
If
okay.
Serbia gets to the finals of European competition, will you be able to either fly over and watch it or at least do a live reaction to the game? We will definitely be doing some watch-alongs during Eurobasket for sure.
We'll probably do pre and post games because they fall at a good time. So we'll probably do
Middle
pre
of
and
the day,
post,
yeah.
pre and post games for Serbia the entire way through, man.
And maybe
So
some watch-alongs too.
absolutely.
Yeah. Probably
I can't
won't be
wait.
able to fly out this month though. Probably not.
But you know what? Maybe
You never know.
somebody want to sponsor us.
You never know.
We need a benefactor. He can hit that outro music.
Yeah.
We need somebody to come in and just be like, you know what? Here's 20 grand. You guys go
you
to
know
Serbia.
What? Get out to Serbia.
Go to Serbia,
Get
guys. Go have fun. Go have. I got to remember the name of that barbecue we always ate. Do you remember?
The hamburger?
No, not Piaskovica. No, we'd always have it be like steak and then some sausage and some chicken. Remember, they'd bring the whole thing out.
I
And
don't know if there was a name for it. It's just
missing it.
what
man.
do you get? You just get a plate of meat.
Yeah, plate of meat
And bread.
A little shop's gonna start you
Yeah,
off.
little
Some
shop's
kaimak in the bread. Oh, it's so good. I miss it. Everybody. Oh yeah, Chavapi. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.